It's time for Mind Over Matter. Hello everyone, it's SK95. Welcome back to more Pokemon LeafGreen. Last time we beat Silphco and stopped the rockets from attacking over. And this time, I forgot to completely heal and I should go back to heal. Man, I forgot. Well, that was embarrassing. I forgot to heal. Whoops. Alright, so we have Saffron City completely cleared out of the rockets. We can actually go and check out the place no matter what. We're going to be going to the gym. First things first, I highly recommend having a Pokemon that has effective moves like Dark and Ghost. This will actually take care of the gym leader. Another thing is make sure you're not going to be using Pokemon that are weak to Psychic types, such as Anarchy and George, because they will unfortunately suffer a downside of being weak to that type. Before you ask, should I use Gengar at all if you had one? I will say outright, you cannot use its actual stab at all because it's all physical, which means you have no choice. Your best option is Tank the Snorlax, actually. Yo, champ in the making. Sabrina's Pokemon use Psychic Power instead of Force. Fighting type Pokemon are especially weak against Psychic Pokemon. They'll get destroyed before they can even aim a punch. Yes, they will. Teleporters typically take you from one area to the next. We're going to challenge every one of the trainers here, so we're going to actually speed through these battles and make this very, very easy. Not exactly too concerned. Sabrina is young, but she's also our highly skilled leader. You won't reach her easily. No, we apparently will not. So, Sabrina is actually the gym leader, and she's actually referenced a lot more with the anime and whatnot, but Cameron's going to send out just Slowpokes and whatnot. I'm not really threatened by Slowpokes entirely. In fact, Slowpoke's physical defense is lacking right now. I'm going to use Shadow Ball on it. Alright, there we go. Very easy. With the high physical attacks that Tank has, it's going to make this an entirely easy battle. One problem. Tank's going to probably take some hits from the Psychic types because, unfortunately, unless it's Slowpoke, the damage output is going to be minimal at best. I'm probably going to have to save Tank or at least go back to heal to get the PP back up because I'd rather not waste the Ethers here. You're better off saving the Ethers for a later fight, and especially later in the game. Next is Slowbro. Now, Slowbro is more physical defensive than special defensive, so I can actually get away with using Sparky with this. So let's use Thunderbolt. My recommendation, if you have moves like Light Screen, I'd highly recommend making sure you set them up before fighting a lot of Psychic-type Pokemon, such as the gym leader themselves, because this is going to make things a lot easier for you. And that was a lot of experience. Cameron was defeated. Ow! Down and out! Why aren't you talking about more Mind Over Matter? There used to be 2 Pokemon gyms in Saffron. The fighting dojo next door lost its gym status, though. We simply creamed them when we decided to just have one gym. Wow, that's harsh. Harsh but fair. There is a sequence to lead over to the gym leader. So, does our unseen power scare you? No, not really. Though Psychics in any, genre is actually pretty scary when you think about it very, very hard. And Kadabra. Well, there's a Kadabra, and that means I'm technically slower than it. Well, here comes the Shadow Ball. Or rather, Side Beam. Well, on the plus side, my special defense is very, very high, so I can actually get away with getting hit by one, and I can actually just get away with using Strength, because Psychic types have one fatal flaw. Their physical defense is garbage unless it's Slowpoke, because Slowpoke and Slowbro generally have better physical defense. And here's the leftovers kicking in. As much as I could have used Quick Claw for Snorlax, outright speaking, Tank prefers having leftovers on a tanking Pokemon because it's actually really useful. And tried to use Disable on me. It failed. Thankfully, this means I can use more PP on Strength because, unfortunately, this is where I'm going to probably be running into. Anarchy also is a decent strategy if you manage to get Anarchy all the way up to 43 to actually get access to the move known as Mega Horn. Very powerful move, however, if it has the ability to miss, it will miss. Sleep Talk is interesting. I don't have Rest anymore, so I can't actually use this, but Sleep Talk is an interesting move. While asleep, the user randomly uses one of their nose. In a competitive setting, I'd say outright Sleep Talk is a really, really nasty strategy combined with Rest, because you're guaranteed to be asleep for 2 turns, and then you can use random moves. So, you can even use Rest again if that happens. So, it's actually a really good strategy in wanting to do competitive whatnot, but besides that, I'm not going to exactly use it to personally. So, let's actually get that out of the way and get to the next Pokemon. No Sleep Talk for me. Mr. Mime. Alright, Mr. Mime is going to be very... Sorry, I had to cut out there a second because, unfortunately, I felt like something was a bit off on there, but now I'm good. Mr. Mime will be very easy because physical defensively, Mr. Mime is pretty bad physically defensively. And the leftovers heal me all the way back to 100% HP. Wah, wah, wah. So let's use Shadow Ball again, and of course use Side Beam first. Yeah, unfortunately, Tank's probably going to be taking hits no matter what. Great. Plus side, leftovers. On the other side, I don't like fighting these Psychic types Pokemon all that much, though. Yeah, a lot of special defensive bulkiness is probably one of my big things I do not care for, but I think it'll be fine. You can actually throw a Psychic type Pokemon against a Psychic type Pokemon, they'll resist each other, but if you have an option to deal with them, you're good. I'm going to send Dragon so I actually hit some more Pokemon damage, because Dragon's probably going to do heavy lifting against the last Pokemon Sabrina has. Now, if it was Hidden Power Dark, I'd love it, but unfortunately, being Dragon is not exactly beneficial to Drag, because it's beneficial for special attack, but the problem is it's not going to exactly do as much damage as other Dragon-type moves are going to exist later. John is defeated. I never foresaw this. I see the future. It's like Pokemon fear only ghosts and bugs. Well, that is logical in this game. Technically speaking, in the original game, Psychic types were actually immune to Ghost. No, I am not kidding. And in the yellow version, they actually said outright, okay, they are only weak to Bug. So, that's the worst thing about Psychic-type Pokemon. So, yeah, Saffron Pokemon Gym is famous for training Psychics. You want to see Sabrina, don't you? I can tell. Did you read my mind? Did you see everything? What am I thinking right now? No, Squirrel moment. Slowbro. Well, this is annoying, because Slowbro is both tanky and higher level than me. On the plus side, though, I'm faster. That's such an accomplishment, being faster than a Slowbro. Ow! On the plus side, leftovers. I'm not exactly too concerned. My Hail Mary strategy when it comes to, like, very powerful Pokemon is just have Tank send out, use Hyper Beam, and hope for the best. Because if this was the original game, Hyper Beam would be broken, because Hyper Beam actually could not need cooldown if it manages to end the Pokemon's HP. No, I am not kidding. It's actually really stupid. So let's actually go to this right one and get this one over here. Let's get her next. Sabrina is far younger than I, but she has earned my respect. There are other gym trainers here, so I'm trying to go to the gym trainers first. If I manage to go to Sabrina, though, I will cut out of Sabrina and just go straight back to the gym trainers. Channelers, no matter what, will always have Ghost-type Pokemon, so this makes things a little bit more awkward. But thankfully, though, crud, I have to go back to heal. Destiny Bond will make sure I get knocked out in one shot. I should just yawn. Darn it. I didn't expect it to use Destiny Bond first. Ugh, that took me with it. Yep, there I go. I'll be right back after healing. This dang Ghastly and a Destiny Bond. Alright. The worst part is, Destiny Bond goes first. So, unfortunately, I don't have much of an option when it comes to that. Thank you. You didn't use Destiny Bond twice. You knew that you were outclassed. But gosh dang it. I gotta go back to heal. That is my worst feeling in my life. Like, seriously? Not good enough. Yes, you're not good enough. You have to rely on a cheap strategy like Destiny Bond. Really, that's just obnoxious. Alright, another gym trainer. I would like to... Actually, no. I think I can avoid him. Yeah, gym trainers can be avoided if you manage to go down below all the way. Pretty much it's an easy way to avoid them. You actually just top scotch around these areas and actually manage to get to an area that you were at before. If we could go back to where we were at before, which is going back all the way left, and then all the way right, and then, nope, not this one. I want to go this way. And back where I started. Okay, cut me out here. Alright, Future Me, you know what to do. Cut me out. That was very annoying. Like, seriously, getting hit by Destiny Bond of all things feels so annoying. I hate it. Alright, here we go. You understand, don't you? The power alone isn't enough to win in the world of Pokemon. No, I just keep hitting buttons and everything blows up. That's usually what my strategy is. Tyron would like to battle with Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is a Pokemon. I say good, but man, some things make no sense. Well, there's Magical Leaf. Yeah, I can learn Magical Leaf by level up. Not exactly a weak move. It never misses, so it's actually a pretty good move if you have a Pokemon that needs to learn it. You can do that. And ironically enough, it gives you an advantage against water types. Unfortunately, Mr. Mime is not gotten until after Cerulean, so you can't exactly get away with that and beat Misty around with it, because it's very annoying. What am I fighting again? Alright. Kadabra. Duh, the only other psychic type. Of course. On the plus side, I'm 1 HP from dang max HP. Well, there's Reflect. It's going to cut my Shadow Ball's attack power in half. I should just use Hyper. Never mind. Critical hit. Tank just wants to make up for the nonsense of dang Destiny Bond. I don't believe this. No way. I can't believe this. Get a load of this. Sabrina just wiped out the Karate Master next door. Yep, she did. She very dangerous. She very, 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 very dangerous. Alright, so wrong elevator. Wrong teleporter as well. Alright, there's the last one. This is the last trainer. Alright. You and I, our Pokemon shall battle. If you use Destiny Bond, I'm going to get annoyed again. Tasha, I'd like the battle, sent out Ghastly. Well, there's the Ghastly again. And since I'm tank, I'm slow as dang. You know what? Aha! I knew it! You can't do it twice. I'm gonna make me go sleep instead. It only works turn 1, sucker. Alright, that's it. I don't care. I'm gonna waste my time making sure you fall asleep so Destiny Bond fails miserably. Alright, Strength. Confuser. Oh, no. You're just gonna throw a bunch of status conditions on me? Really? Come on. Come on, man. This is not sunny. Well, it failed, but I wanted it to fall asleep on purpose. Thank you. You are so blasted annoying. I despise this thing. Like, seriously, Destiny Bond is an obnoxious strategy in the beginning of battles. Like, seriously. Your first instinct is always to knock out the opponent's Pokemon. The fact that it has Destiny Bond makes this more annoying. Thankfully, though, it only really works on one turn, and it stops working afterwards. Thank goodness, because that was very, very, very annoying, and did not make a liar out of me. If it manages to get it off, it's going to be a very annoying thing, and I wanted Sparky to get another level up, so let's try it again. Thankfully, we're faster, so we can't actually get it first. I was mistaken about the Destiny Bond proccing. It's because Tank's so slow, I can actually not get away with it, so I have to use Sparky to just get rid of this Ghost-type trainer. Having a Ghost-type trainer in a Psychic-type gym is very, very, very annoying. Thankfully, though, it's just Haunter last, and that's pretty much most of the gym trainers in this entire dang area of gym. Yeah, the gym leader is going to be a very tough fight, because actually, unlike Misty, who's a gatekeeper for early game, Sabrina is more of a gatekeeper for late game. Tasha's been defeated. I lost after all! Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Channeler. What do you have to say for yourself? I knew that this was going to be taking place. You saw the future! You saw the future! Do I fight you already? Yes, I did. I have to find the right teleporter. So, by retracing our steps, we started on this teleporter right here. Nope, that was wrong. That was massively wrong, in fact. I believe it was this teleporter being the one that we started on. Yes, it is. So we start from this teleporter. Then we're going to head all the way left to trace ourselves to make this easier for everyone in case they need to know what the steps is. This one, and then we're going to go straight on this teleporter. And then we finally get to, well, we didn't touch this one yet. And this teleporter, and I believe, yes, she actually fights us. Pokemon take on the appearance of their trainers. Your Pokemon must be tough then. Well, it depends. Like in the anime, it makes more sense because some trainers actually have Pokemon that look similar to them. And of course, this may be a problem because I know fully well the Haunter's going to use Destiny Bond on the first turn. Well, there's Confuse Ray again. Can anyone other than their mother stop using Confuse Ray? Come on. Alright, Shadow Ball wipes it out at least. Man, that Haunter's obnoxious. I had to pause, like, I was making sure, like, wait a minute, am I gonna smack myself? I'm like, man, I hate when that happens. It really sucks when that happens. 38, really good for Tank. That HP amount for Tank is good. Sage has been defeated. I knew it! Yes, you did. Now leave me alone. Now then, I'm gonna retrace myself and hope that I get the right teleporter. Nope, that's not the right teleporter, and I definitely knew I fought this guy already. So, back in there I go. And then we go down instead. And I already fought this guy, so it's not him. So instead, let's go diagonal up because we haven't been there yet. And I'm already been here, so... You know what? I'm gonna cut until I get the right teleportation sequence. Ha! Found it. All the way down. It's from this trainer over here. On top, I believe he's the top leftmost trainer, and you want to head to the bottom teleporter right here. There we go. We found Sabrina. So, Sabrina is going to be a tough fight on our hands. So, let's have to make sure our Pokemon are good enough. Alright, we're good. Let's go fight Sabrina. I had a vision of your arrival. I have had psychic power since I was a child. It started when a spoon I carelessly tossed bent. I just like battling, but if you wish, I will show you my powers. The gym leader of the Saffron City Gym, Leader Sabrina, would like to battle. Send out Kadabra. Level 38, Psychic type, Synchronized for the ability, Psybeam, Reflect, Future Sight, Calm Mind. Annoying team strategy nonetheless, but it's going to make things more annoying when it sets up that Reflect and make sure to do so. Thankfully though, if I need to, I can actually risk switching out to Anarchy and use Brick Break to get rid of that Reflect. Alright, that's good. Kadabra's gone down very quickly. Mr. Mime! Let's switch out to a different Pokemon because Mr. Mime's going to be a little more annoying. Let's send Drag out. Mr. Mime, level 37. Psychic type, soundproof for the ability, so sound-based moves will fail. With the moves, Barrier, Psybeam, Baton Pass, and Calm Mind. Baton Pass and Calm Mind barrier strategy is probably the most annoying strategy in the game. You want to get rid of this thing immediately. Because if it gets that off, it's going to keep getting that boost and give all the Baton Pass boosts to another Pokemon. If it gets that off, it's going to be one of the worst experiences in your life. Trust me on this. You want this thing gone and out. Thankfully, we got rid of it, no problem. Drag grew to level 42. Really good. That Drag leveled up another level, so that's actually really good. Venomoth. Let's switch out to a different Pokemon. Let's actually use Anarchy because Venomoth only has one move that does super effective damage to it. Anarchy, go. Venomoth, level 38. Bug Poison type. Shield Dust for the ability. Moves Psybeam, Gust, Leech Life, and Supersonic. Let's use Brick Break. And the Reflect is now destroyed. Now means our physical attacks will actually get through, no problem. I wanted to do that to get rid of the physical attacks, and I'm not too worried about Anarchy right now because Psybeam, despite how powerful Venomoth is, it's not exactly as powerful as you may think. I'm going to use Thrash next, because Venomoth's physical defense stat is not exactly one of the best in the world. And it's going to use Psybeam again, hoping to probably get confusion off. However, it's not as common as you may think. It's only like 30%. So let's actually get rid of this one now, and Venomoth is down. Very good. Leech Life, thankfully, is nowhere near as annoying until later generations. So the last Pokemon is Sabrina's strongest, being a Alakazam. We have Tank for this. Let's actually send Tank out for this. Sabrina's last Pokemon and strongest is Alakazam, level 43, Psychic type, Synchronized for the ability. Psychic, Recover, Future Sight, Calm Mind. If she managed to use that Mr. Mime for Baton Pass, it would immediately use Calm Mind to boost all of Alakazam's biggest weaknesses. Thankfully, though, we have Shadow Ball, we can actually hit it around. Now it's going to start trying to use Calm Mind in order to set up Psychic Spam, which is one of the most annoying strategies in the game. A lot of players actually do use this strategy a lot in order to get more hits off. Alakazam is decently more offensive, but it doesn't matter right now. Tank's higher physical attack set wipes out Alakazam at least. Sabrina has been defeated. This loss shocks me, but a loss is a loss. I admit, I didn't work hard enough to win. Your victory has earned you the Marsh Badge. 4,300 for winning. Technically speaking, both Sabrina and Koga have the same levels. The Marsh Badge makes Pokemon up to level 70 obey you. Strong Pokemon will become wild, ignoring your orders in battle. Just don't raise your Pokemon too much to avoid that problem. Wait, please take this TM. TM04. This contains the move Calm Mind. A really powerful move. Psychic power isn't something that only a few people have. Everyone has Psychic power, people just don't realize it. Well, the move that we got is Calm Mind. A really good move for a Pokemon that uses a lot of special attacks. In fact, that move is actually a move I want to teach my Glimmer, but unfortunately, Glimmer cannot learn Calm Mind. Yeah, that's sadly one of the biggest things and flaws about Glimmer. I can't actually teach it Calm Mind, which means I'm stuck without it. By the way, Sabrina also had 2 Hyper Potions and a full heal, just like Koga. Just keep in mind that she does have those, and if you get a lot of Sassingtons off it, it will mean that you will spell your own doom in case she needs to heal. This is why you need to wipe out her Pokemon immediately turn 1, because if you don't, she's gonna basically keep wailing the crud out of you until you basically lose. It's not a fun thing. Alright, we escaped there, and we can actually talk to him, and he says, Psychic power, huh? If I had that, I would make a bundle at the slots. To be fair, though, that doesn't work like that. You need luck. So if Sabrina defeated, we actually have access to getting her out here and leaving. We want to join a fan club. Let's actually check the fan club after Team Rocket's been defeated. This fan club is actually something that will, well, be a small thing. Sadly, though, there's no one in here that are really that important, so yeah, we're not too concerned. All of us gathered here are fans of Pokemon trainers. The way they look in battle, the way they have pictures of coolness. Perhaps you will talk here to do, if you keep winning. I wonder if I can become a cool trainer one day. Yeah, cool trainers are basically ace trainers. I think trainers are so cool when they're battling. Don't you think so, too? I guess so. Yeah, chairs you can't exactly leave unless you, well, go to the side. Brock's the last word on cool. End of story. That's the guy I want to be like. Well, he thinks Brock's cool, despite the fact that he's cooperating to water and grass. If you heard my pitch on when I write about self. It's already over. I missed the media action. Wah, wah, wah. Unironically enough, though, Saffron probably is the easiest town you can get to once you get the tea. So we have a lot of money built up. We can actually get away with getting a lot of money. Now, typically speaking, I'm going to buy more Great Balls because we're going to actually have a lot of catching action in our hands in a bit. I'm going to buy more Great Balls and make sure we have some. Hyper Potions especially are a very valuable resource, and we want to get as much as we can. I'm going to buy 18 of these because I want to make sure I have enough healing items. And Revives, I don't really need, but I will buy some anyway. I will buy at least 17. That'll be good enough numbers for myself, personally. Let's check out the rest of this town and actually check it out. But I'm going to go first to Showdown City because I need to grab a certain item before we try to show off something. Back in Showdown City, there's an item you want to grab before you're here. You want to go back to the trainer store in Showdown City to grab a Pokédoll. Trust me on this one. This will allow you to get a move that not many Pokemon will be able to learn normally. Alright, floor 4 actually does sell the Pokédoll, which you need to get anyway from here. Let's go buy it. I'd rather buy it, but I need to buy it anyway for one particular reason and one reason alone. Those reasons are not exactly bad to understand. All the other evolutionary stones are here, but you don't really need them all that much except for the Moonstone, which, to be fair though, if you're going after Nidoqueen or any other Pokemon, you're basically going to have to hope for Clefairies to drop them, because otherwise, you're kind of screwed. There are 2 Pokemon that are available here by fishing by 1% encounter rate, but I'm not going to talk about them because it feels really redundant to talk about 2 Pokemon that can't be gotten except for one reason. There's actually a way you can surf over here. Let's go and surf all the way over to this old man over here. Hello there. I've seen you about, but I've never had a chance to chat. It must be good luck that brought us together finally. Let's celebrate by teaching you the move Soft Boiled. Only 2 Pokemon can learn this. Clefairy Line and the Chansey Line. This move can only be learned once. It was once a TM in the original games. Sadly, none of my Pokemon can learn this. I've been keeping an eye out for you. I hope we can chat again. He will teach you that move. Soft Boiled basically heals half your HP no matter what. It's a really good move that's not affected by any weather condition, any sunlight. So I recommend highly teaching this move if you have Clefairy. Because if you do, that means you have a healing move that's actually way better than Moonlight. Because, man, that move can be really good. Anyway, back to Saffron. Alright, back in Saffron City, you want to head to the house that leads you to right above Silphco. You want to enter this house over here. Thank you for writing. I hope to see you soon. Hey, don't look at my letter. Well, not this house. It's actually a different one. The copycat is cute. I get her a Pokédoll. Yeah, you want to go find that copycat. So let's actually go find the copycat in question. You're not going alone? That's amazing. Really nice. Really, really nice that we're being... Congratulations for beating an evil organization. It's this hat I was mistaken with. I believe. Yep. My daughter is so self-centered. She has built up but a few friends. How is that self-centered? I guess she just doesn't like to... My daughter likes to mimic people. It's rather vexing. Her mimicry has earned her the nickname Copycat around here. Well... It's not the move Copycat. No. Instead. Actually, there's a hidden item over here. Because you got an item buried, we have to go up instead, and then head over left. And I believe the item in question is actually the bookcase. Is in front of it or on the bookcase. And there is the item over here. Okay, I am losing my mind over nothing. Got a nugget literally on her desk. No, I am not kidding. It's dumb. Oh, wow, Pokédoll. For me? Thank you. You know what? I can teach you the move Mimic. Mimic is a unique move. I really love Mimic, but who's going to learn it? Mimic's unique. It can be learned by any Pokemon entirely. What it does is basically copy whatever move the opponent used. For example, let's say, hypothetically speaking, a Pokemon decided to use the move Destiny Bond. You can use Mimic to basically temporarily take that move instead. If you get knocked out, you basically copy the move Vex as well. it's essentially really good. There's also a move called Copycat, which essentially only copies a move for 1 turn. Technically speaking, I would recommend it, but it only really depends on the Pokemon. Is there a Pokemon? Oh, it's only a doll? Yes, it is. It's only a doll. Is there a Pokemon? Oh, it's only a doll? And this is actually a Pokemon. Yee! Pretty mirror, look at me. See how pretty I can be? A game with Mario wearing a bucket on his head. Well, there is games with Mario wearing a bucket on his head. That's probably the Mario game back in the Game Boy era. I believe it was... yes, quite. Trying to remember which game it was. I think it was Sunshine. I'm losing my mind on nothing. Alright, I'm just losing my mind here. So, you can go into any direction now. We finally left it, so we're good. I saw Rocket Boss escaping self-building. Yes, you did. We actually beat him. And then I believe that's pretty much it for Saffron City entirely. We have nothing left here to go through, and we're actually pretty good that they're all gone. So, we're actually pretty much done here. Let's go heal up a little bit. Alright, after healing, I can actually go back to a city we've been to before. Let's go back all the way to... Now, technically speaking, we can go to pretty much anywhere. Rocket Tunnel is actually an interesting area, and you want to go to Power Planet later, but I will say outright, I will not go there yet. We will be going there in the future, but right now, though, I'm not risking it. So instead, let's go back to Fuchsia City and talk about the last thing we can do before we head off to Potential's next city. The last city will be the next one being, well, Cinnabar Island, which is going to be a big place. In fact, what we're going to be doing is interesting. First, we're going to be going back into Safari Zone because we want to also grab some Pokeballs. I want to grab the Ultra Balls because this is actually the only opportunity I can actually get Ultra Balls right now. And frankly, I would like to make sure I grab enough of them to actually utilize them effectively against certain Pokemon. I'll explain later when we actually have the option to do so. So, let's get our Ultra Balls back up to... I can only up to 15, but I guess that's fine. Wait a minute, I just realized I need dang Poké-Dollars for the next one. So let's actually go and get 10 of them, so we actually need this. Alright, good. We have a Nugget, actually. We can actually sell the Nugget and actually get a lot of money for this. So let's actually go all the way down, scroll all the way down. S'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît. There's a Nugget. We have 2 Nuggets. Let's actually sell them for 10,000 Poké. Nice. I have not used any of this, so yeah, that's actually pretty good. Pokédoll in battle actually uses something interesting. It forcibly allows you to run away from battle no matter what. If a high-level Pokemon is bothering you, you can basically just throw the doll and it'll actually stop the battle entirely. Really useful in case you're stuck in a battle that have a high-level Pokemon that you can't actually get away from them. It's only really useful until later games, so I would say outright, do not need to do it. So let's actually go into Safari Zone because there's 2 more Pokemon I forgot to talk about in Safari Zone without the Super Rod. Let's go 500 again, and any area you can fish. So instead, we're going to be fishing here. I'll say outright, you want to have the Super Rod equipped for this. It doesn't matter which zone you're in. We're going to be staying in the main zone for this because it doesn't matter because the encounter rate is the same. With Surf, we can actually go across the water and actually check out for all items. All items are now available, and now we can actually surf around. And this one is a Nugget. Really, really useful. I will say outright, there's a lot of Nuggets in this area. We want to get the last of the items here. So let's go and search out the last of the items. I'm not going to really bother with Pokemon right now. So let's actually go and check it out. And over here, over here, over here, over here. Well, actually, let's go fishing because there's a Pokemon you can actually get by fishing with only a Super Rod. That's a rare encounter. This Pokemon is the only pseudo-legendary in the game. That being Dratini. At a 14% encounter rate, or 15% encounter rate, technically speaking, you can actually find that Pokemon. The pure Dragon type is a very, very good type. It's resistant to a lot of types and especially useful against other types. It's only weak to itself in this generation. No Fairy type exists yet. They are also weak to Ice type, but Ice types are less common and a very squishy type. So, yeah, unfortunately, you can't really utilize that type effectively, but this type is actually really good to have. And that's one of them are up. So, next is the fact that you can also find its evolved form, Dragonair. Dragonair is actually just more faster, a bit more offensive, a little more special offensive as well. You can also get these Pokemon back in the game corner if you want to. I'd say highly recommend it if you're better off with going to the game corner one because the levels are skewed between both. Dratini can appear at max of 25, while Dragonair can appear at a max of... Well, I found Seeking. Appear at a max at 35. So if you get 35 Dragonair, you're actually going to be very easy often. I'm going to go get this very well, get the Seeking out of the way because... 1, 2, 3. There we go. So Dragonair is actually also really good. Once it fully evolves into Dragonite, though, its base stat total gets 600, meaning it's a pseudo-legend. And the Autumn Springs I'm going to cut out for a second because I need to talk about Seeking. In the autumn spawning season, they can be seen swimming powerfully up rivers and creeks. Whatever. Alright, back to the PC and go away. And to talk about Dragonite, well, Dragonite is probably one of the strongest pseudo-legends in the game. It's quad weak to ice, so if you get hit by an ice type move, that thing is going to go down very quickly. Now, Dragonair itself is actually a very good Pokemon, and Dragonite itself is actually a really good one. One problem, though. When it fully evolves, its physical attack stat is the highest stat it has, meaning it's not going to do a lot more damage, with Dragon-type moves being stabbed. Really, the best option you got when it comes to that Pokemon's moves and abilities is you're going to be using a lot more physical attacks besides using Dragon-type moves. You're better off using a Flying-type move in order to make sure you do stab damage. Otherwise, you won't be able to actually hit this thing as hard as possible. Now, I'm going to be trying to catch a Dratini because a Dratini and Dragonair in Safari Zone is rare, but it's also still viable to actually catch one of them. Now, Dragonair itself is a 1% encounter rate, so yeah, not exactly a fun thing outright. I'm not going to need a side bio for this because, frankly, I don't need to because the Dragonair and Dratini are rare, so I can't exactly do anything with it, but the encounter rates for Seeking here are just annoying. We've seen Goldeen and Seeking is just the same thing, just stronger. I don't have any reason to talk about Seeking because Seeking is literally just the same thing, but stronger. It's not exactly any different. We can still try to find Chansey if we want to here, but I really don't want to waste my time with that because there's no point in wasting my time with it. Let's try a different fishing spot and see if we can actually find that Dratini and Dragonair. I'll cut until we find that Pokemon because you can fish as much as you want. Might as well catch a Goldeen because A, it's actually good for the Pokedex because we actually reached 50 Pokemon now. 1, 2, 3. Click. That was easy. Goldeen Zato is added to the Pokedex. Its tail fins billows like a elegant ballroom dress, giving it the nickname, the Water Queen. If only its physical attacks that was actually useful. Anyway, back to fishing. You know what's crazy to me? Slowpoke's a 4% encounter rate here, which is the highest you basically can get in the game. And Seeking and Goldeen are both 40%. Yeah, you're pretty much fighting against the odds at this point. Finally found a Dratini. Man, that was actually annoying to find. Problem is, Dratini's catch rate is one of the lowest because Pseudo Legends, no matter what, have a low catch rate. Let's try to throw a Survival Ball at first. 1, 2. Alright, almost had it. He is watching very carefully. Here's some bait for you, Dratini. Dratini is eating. Let us try Safari Ball once again. 1, 2. That's the same amount of shakes. Come on, man. Bait you again. Dratini is still eating. Come on, Dratini. You can get in the Safari Ball. I know you can do it. Come on, Dratini. Aw. You know what, Dratini? That's it. I'm going to throw you a rock at you. At the lowest level, you can actually find Dratini, which is actually one of the most annoying things about Dratini when it comes down to this, because highest being 25 is at least manageable, but 15 is obnoxious. 1. I almost had it. The fact that it's not running is surprising, though. Was trying to increase the dang catch rate because I'm going to have to try to do the strategy repeatedly. 1, 2, 3. Finally! Alright, caught a Dratini at least for Pokedex, so I wanted to get this one out of the way. Here's Zato's added to the Pokedex. Long considered a mythical Pokemon until recently, when a small colony was found living underwater. Dragon Pokemon. It is one of the hardest things to catch in the game. I'd say outright, if you want a pseudo-legend, this Pokemon is definitely for you. A lot of pseudo-legends in the later games also become dragon types, so yeah, you're basically running into a Dratini situation. So I'm going to try to find Dragonair at least once. If I can't catch it, then whatever, I don't care. I got the Dratini at least. You can technically evolve Dratini at any point if you manage to get yourself an item. Well, not an item particularly. We can leave him at the daycare, and we can actually just level up Dratini there. Meaning we can just run around repeatedly and gain a bunch of levels and experience. Because Dragon-type Pokemon have one unfortunate downside. Their level requirement to reach evolution is the worst in the game. I am not kidding with all of you. This level requirement, ridiculous. Dragonair evolves into Dragonite at level 50. It is the highest requirement in any of the games. So you're basically going to be fighting against the odds once that Pokemon needs to fully evolve. Yeah, not exactly a good thing nonetheless, but at the same time, it makes sense why a Pokemon needs that much of a level of The only one that's actually low in the series for Dragon-type and pseudo-legendaries is the Pokemon Garchomp. And even then, its level is not even remotely low. You can actually get that thing at level 28. There's a certain Pokemon at that level, but at the same time, the level difference is way too high to recommend using either Pokemon. If it's Diamond and Pearl, I'll say, alright, you're better off without the Gible. But if you're playing, say, Pokemon Platinum, you're better off with the Gible, because guess what? You actually can utilize it against the next Fantina gym. So, really good. Anyway, I'm going to go find Dragonair again. Getting 40% encounter rate for a Pokemon that are just bad by now. All sense of the word. Come on. Don't even give me a Pokemon of 40% encounter rate. This is completely and utterly bad. Physical offense water type is one of the worst ideas in the planet. I suppose I haven't talked about the fact that Dragonair's shiny sprite changes from when it's actually a Dragonair into Dragonite. Dragonair's shiny sprite is purple, and then when it becomes Dragonite, it becomes completely green. I don't know why they have such a habit of green, but they do. I don't know why either. It's one of the weirdest things about Pokemon's shiny sprites, and I'll never understand their logic of whatever shiny sprite they pick. The only time you find shiny Pokemon like that is, like, rare. There's also a fun fact that in later game of Gold and Silver, you do have a chance to get yourself a free Dratini with extreme speed. You just gotta make sure you answer the questions right. The problem is, I don't think I'm ever gonna get that right. I really wish you couldn't encounter Seeking, because really, it's one of the wasteful times you want to have, like, Pokemon percentages. Like, seriously, why Seeking of all things? There's a Slowpoke. Slow. Well, 4% encounter rate finally kicked in. Slowpoke is actually a very rare Pokemon, and it's actually level 33, which is insanely high. 1, 2, 3. Gotcha, Slowpoke was caught. Now we finally have a Slowpoke in the Pokedex. Slowpoke Zeta was added to the Pokedex. Slowpoke, incredibly slow and dopey. It takes 5 seconds for it to feel pain when under attack. Not kidding. That's actually very logical. So, Slowpoke's been caught. I wanted to at least catch Slowpoke because it's the highest encounter rate you can actually find around any area in the Safari Zone. Not even water areas in the main area of the games really have a high encounter rate for Slowpoke. So, I'd say outright, this is the best opportunity I could have had to get Slowpoke at all. And being level 33, it's actually usable if you wanted a team member who's water and psychic type besides Starmie, because it's actually really good. Anyway, I'm done. Yes, I'm gonna leave. Yes, I'm done with this. I don't want to stay here anymore, and frankly, that took too long, and I really, really, really don't want to stay there anymore. So, we are done with pretty much everything here, and we are actually going to be continuing on our adventures by heading south of Fuchsia City, leading us to, well, the area that allows us to. It's the next route to the beach. So, next time on Pokemon LeafGreen, we will be heading to Route 19 and actually exploring it, reaching, potentially, the island at the end of it. See you all next time!